Alright, this is your review of X-Men. The Last Stand came out in 2006. This movie is kind of a step back from the previous two. I don't hate this movie. I don't really love it either, but I did enjoy it. I know this one got a mixed reception. Some people will debate this movie, whether if it's good or bad. To me, I'm more on the positive side, but I do have some issues. I do think this movie did improve on a couple of elements, but also, again, there were some things that had some issues with, and we will get into those issues. The film introduces some new characters, like Juggernaut, Kitty Pryde, Archangel, Beast, and we get introduced to Phoenix, Jean Grey's alter ego. This movie starts off in 1986. We see Charles Xavier and Magneto go into the house of a young Jean Grey. Apparently she is a level 5 mutant, has powers more powerful than any other mutant. They're going there to recruit her into the X-Men. 10 years later, 1996, we see a young Archangel. He is manifesting his powers, but he doesn't want them, so he tries to cut off his wings. So his father comes in. He wants to know what is he doing. He figures out that he's a mutant. He hugs his son. He tells him that he's going to get to the bottom of this. So we go to present times. We see Warren Worthington doing experiments on his son, trying to get rid of his powers. And it's not really working. The wings keep on growing back. His son becomes impatient, and he breaks out of the facility and flies away. He kind of accepts who he is, but not really. So then we go to the X-Men. They are in the Danger Room, which is a training facility. We see Wolverine cut the head off a Sentinel, so right away we get some action. We see Kitty Pryde and Iceman kind of form a relationship, and it makes Rogue jealous. You know, Rogue can't really do much with Iceman. She can't kiss him, or else she will kill him. So she gets kind of jealous when she sees Iceman with Kitty Pryde, because Kitty Pryde is just like a normal human or normal mutant, but she can walk through walls. That's her powers. So the training mission doesn't really go according to plan, and they say that the younger guys aren't really ready because the war is coming, but we'll see if they're ready at the end. Beast is introduced here. He is the Secretary of State. He is trying to provide a diplomatic solution between mutants and humans. He is a bridge between them. And he is alerted that there is a cure for mutants out there. Worthington Labs, they finally found a cure. It comes from a boy who has the power to suppress the X gene. What the government wants to do is to extract it from him and turn it into a cure. Kind of mean they want to weaponize it, but they're going to say it in a polite way. So Beast goes to Professor X's house and tells him that a cure is coming. And Xavier doesn't really like the idea, but it does give mutants choice if they want to be mutants or get cured and become a human. Cyclops in this film, he's kind of a mess. After Jean Grey sacrificed herself in X2, he leaves the X-Mansion and goes looking for Jean Grey. He eventually finds her at Alkali Lake, and Jean is very different. She has powers called the Phoenix, which they never really explained who the Phoenix is in this film. Just one of my criticisms. And so yeah, they reconvene, but something goes wrong. Jean loses control of her powers, and Scott just disappears. Xavier realizes that something's wrong. He sends Wolverine and Storm out there, and they find Jean Grey. They bring Jean Grey back to the lab for testing. Anyway, we go to Magneto. Magneto He's reforming his Brotherhood of Mutants, and he hijacks a prison truck. The truck filled a bunch of prisoners. We see Juggernaut, we see Mystique, all being held captive, and him and Havoc, they hijack the truck and they take the prisoners with them to join their Brotherhood. But however, in the process, a security guard has the cure, and he fires it at Magneto, but Mystique jumps in the way, and the cure happens to work. It cures Mystique. Yet Magneto is kind of shocked. What does he do? He deserts Mystique. He says Mystique is no longer one of them. Shows you how much Magneto really cares for Mystique. So Magneto goes back to his cave, and one of the mutants there alerts him that Jean Grey has been found. Magneto and Xavier were the ones who found Jean Grey and recruited her into the X-Men. So he goes and works with Xavier to visit Jean Grey because she is not well here. This is a scene that I kind of don't like, but it is a cool scene. But Jean Grey does here, she's lost control of her powers. Xavier's trying to tell her to keep control, but nothing can be done. Jean Grey kills Xavier. He just disintegrates. But it is a cool scene how he disintegrates. I'll see some great action with Storm and Wolverine versus the Brotherhood. They're there to guard the house to make sure no one gets in. You see an amazing fight scene between Wolverine and the Juggernaut. After the scene, Magneto comforts Jean and takes her into the Brotherhood of Mutants. So, yeah. Magneto, he wants to go after this child. Like I said, he can suppress the X gene. He's aware of the cure. He thinks that the humans will strike first if they don't. And then we see a funeral for Xavier. The final battle takes place at Alcatraz prison where the boy is being held. This is an amazing scene here where Magneto, he lifts apart the Golden Gate Bridge off its hinges and he attaches it to Alcatraz prison. It shows how powerful Magneto is. The X-Men also learn that there's a child there who has special abilities and is being held in Alcatraz. They go there, see Kitty Pryde rescue the boy, see the X-Men fight Magneto and the other mutants. Magneto gets defeated, he gets cured, and the final show-off is between Wolverine and Jean Grey. We see Wolverine kill Jean Grey. And at the ending of the movie, we see Magneto. He's in a retirement community. He's playing chess. He tries to test out his abilities, see if they work. Does it work? Is he cured? We don't know. The movie just cuts off. He's trying to test out his powers, but maybe they do, because in X-Men Days of Future Past, Magneto's abilities work. So I guess the cure is only temporarily. It's not a cure, it's only kind of like a treatment. There is a post-credit scene here. We see Moira McTaggart checking on a comatose patient. Comatose patient awakes and says, "Hello, Moira." But it's the voice of Xavier. That kind of shocks her. So I guess Xavier is alive. How is he alive? He transfers his mind into a comatose patient. Because he told Wolverine he's not the only one that can do tricks. So my thoughts on the movie, I'm back and forth between a 7 and an 8. I like the first act. I like the final act. There's a lot of great action scenes, great special effects. What I don't like is this Dark Phoenix saga that they have. You have Jean Grey kill Xavier, which I didn't like. He's a character that you shouldn't kill off. And they didn't really give her an origin or do much with her. But I guess that's my only issue. So I did enjoy the film. I liked everything else, so I'll probably give it an 8. I have a change of heart for this film. I just watched it yesterday, but I enjoyed it, so I'm giving 8 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like was Jean Grey. They could have left her out of this. This Jean Grey stuff wasn't really needed, or I would have probably done it. I would not have had Xavier get killed. Now, like I said, there was a post-credit scene that proves that Xavier is alive, but that only devalues Jean Grey for killing Xavier. It makes his death meaningless, like it never happened. I think the reason why is because this was supposed to be the last of the X-Men movies, but they wanted to leave it open-ended so that someone could continue the series. But this has been your X-Men The Last Stand review. Thought it was better than the first one. Not as good as X2. A step back, but some improvements were made, and I did enjoy the film as a whole. Just not the Phoenix stuff.